Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Drop, and today we're going to be talking about the best, lightest basketball shoes that you can get, right? So I said best, lightest for a reason, just because light is very easy to do for cheaper shoes. Generally, if a shoe lacks tech, it's on the lighter side of things, you know what I mean? So if it's like a budget shoe, it tends to be super duper light. But it's a budget shoe and sometimes it's not the best performer, right? So I'm gonna be telling you guys what the best shoes are, right? In my personal opinion, these are all amazing performers, and also they're all very lightweight, right? So if you guys do want to cop any of these shoes, I try to leave them link in the description box. As far as the weight goes, the number weight is not as important as like how it feels on foot, you know what I mean? For example, right? A shoe, it can be on the lighter side of things, but if it's like bulky feeling, you know what I mean? If there's a whole bunch of stuff that's like, you know, protruding out as far as like the midsole goes, or if there's a whole bunch of foam in the actual material and it feels a little bit thicker, that kind of like makes the shoe feel a little bit heavier, in my personal opinion, than the actual kind of like number weight, right? The number weight, of course, is still important, however, you know what I mean? But if it's like a difference between like 1 ounce, right? If one shoe is like 10 ounces and another shoe is like 11 ounces, not a huge difference, you know what I mean? Or once you get a little bit above an ounce, you can definitely feel the difference, however, right? But also, I feel like weight is pretty damn important to most people, right? So I always ask, you know, like, you know, if someone recognizes me, I'm like, oh yeah, what's your favorite shoe? Or like, what do you like in a basketball shoe? The number one thing I feel like I hear is a lightweight shoe, right? Lightweight shoe that feels comfortable with good grip or whatever, and it also fits me well. So yeah, being lightweight, I feel like is a something that people want in their hoop shoes. But anyways, so we have, you know, I have a good amount of shoes on this list. However, let's start it off with the lightest shoe, right? And that'll be the Precision 6. It comes in at 9.6 ounces. Also, of course, we have the Giannis Immortality too. But again, like I said, those are budget shoes, and they perform well. I would say Precision 6 I like a lot better. However, the cushion is very lacking. So if you don't mind that, then yeah, it's Precision 6. It has great support, good traction, really lightweight and minimal. It's just the cushion, just because, you know, like I said, it lacks tech, it's not good. So there is, I guess we'll just kind of like get that out of the way. But let's get it started off with the KD Trey 510, with coming in at 10.9 ounces, right? So it's a really good shoe, very lightweight feeling as well. But there's a couple of things that I didn't like, which is the support. The support, it wasn't terrible for me. I would even say it was like almost adequate, right? But I feel like for most people, if you want like support, the material is just like super duper thin and very soft. So if you want like good support, it's probably not the best option, right? But other than that, traction is really good. The cushion feels great, you know, it has renewed foam. So you have pretty good compression in the heel, and then we have a 4-foot zoom unit, which does add a little subtle bounce in the forefoot. And of course, it's very minimal feeling, very lightweight. So yeah, KD Trey 510, pretty damn good option. Just be careful of the support. All right, next we have another shoe. We actually have a whole bunch of shoes coming in at 10.9 ounces. I just weighed them, and they were 10.9 ounces for some reason, and that is the lightest all of these shoes get to. So we got the Kyrie Low 5. The Kyrie Low 5 is also 10.9 ounces, super duper lightweight, which is really weird, just because Kyrie's used to be super duper heavy. If you guys remember, like the Kyrie 5, 6, even the 7 was a little bit on the lighter side, but it used to be like pretty heavy, right? But anyways, the Kyrie Low 5 is a great performer. It has great traction. The cushion, I would say, is better than like the Precision, but still not amazing, right? A little bit of compression in the heel, and then we have a zoom unit in the forefoot. The material is super thin. It's a very thin material, very minimal feeling upper as well. You feel very responsive playing in that shoe, and of course, a little added bonus is the outsole curvature, right? So there is another shoe coming in at 10.9 ounces. Next, we got the Leaning Speed 9 Premium, right? So I got that shoe right over here. I don't know if it's coming up on camera, but that shoe is freaking amazing, guys. Not the best for support. I wouldn't say it's as bad as the KD Trey 510, however. I would say it's more on like the level of PG6, where, you know, I would say it's adequate for most people. But if you're kind of like heavily leaning towards like you really need good support, then the Speed 9 Premium probably isn't the best option, right? The Speed 9 Premium, I would say out of all these shoes, is one of the most minimal feeling shoes on this list, just because the upper is so thin. It's so minimal feeling. And also you're so damn low to the ground that it just feels like you kind of have like nothing on your foot, almost, you know? So yeah, traction is top tier. You have really good traction, good cushion overall. You know, you have a soft mesh shoulder, which does improve the step grip and comfort. The support was good for me. It was adequate for me, and also it's a pretty damn cheap shoe. So the Speed 9 Premium, a very good performer. All right, next, the last shoe that's in the 10.9 ounce category, I guess. And this is also, these are the lightest shoes that you can get right now that are good performers in my personal opinion. We got the Jordan Tatum 1. The Jordan Tatum 1 also is super freaking light, and it's the lightest shoe that Jordan brand has to offer, and they even say that on like tech specs. So they try to remove a whole bunch of rubber. They did remove a whole bunch of rubber, so that did decrease the weight a good amount. But yeah, the overall traction is really good. It does pick up a little bit of dust. However, the cushion also is really nice. You have really good core feel, but also the heel is soft, and then that forefoot zoom in it is really bouncy. And also the upper is very thin. It's a very thin, minimal feeling upper as well, which feels great. So the Tatum 1, very good option. All right, next we're gonna get a little bit heavier, and we have the Curry 10 coming in at 11.2 ounces. So it's only 0.3 ounces heavier than 10.9 ounces, which is very negligible, right? No one's really gonna notice that. But yeah, the Curry 10, I mean, they don't have a rubber outsole on it. Rubber is pretty damn heavy. It takes up a good amount of weight. Rubber and also the midsole, like the foam, whatever foam that the shoe is using. So the Curry 10 makes sense. Super minimal feeling shoe. Very responsive shoe as well. Just not a huge fan of the cushion. The cushion, I definitely feel like Under Armour should, please Under Armour, make the cushion a little bit nicer in the Curries, you know what I mean, if you're using Flow, just like in your running shoes. In the running shoes, it's not even too soft, you know what I mean. Basketball, I understand the cushion needs to be more responsive, however, it's not even that soft in the running shoes, you know what I mean. So in my personal opinion, I feel like if they just transfer the Flow cushion from the running shoes to their basketball shoes, it would be super nice, but they don't do that. They make it different, you know what I mean? They make it stiffer for basketball. But anyways, there is the Curry 10. Next, we got the Jawone. So the Jawone comes in at 11.4 ounces, and the Jawone is a freaking amazing performer. I really like playing that shoe. Top tier traction, top tier traction. One thing about it is though, it feels lightweight, right? But it doesn't feel super minimal on your foot just because there's a lot of padding, right? So it's like I said, right? It's a lightweight shoe, but it feels a little bit like not heavy, but like bulky because of, the tongue has a good amount of padding, and also like on the sides of the ankle area, like where the lining is, there is a good amount of padding as well, which does feel very comfortable and very cozy. It just makes the shoe overall not feel as minimal like the Speed 9 Premium, but however, it's still really nice, right? Heel cushions, very good. You have that top loaded zoom unit in the forefoot. Material is it's a very supportive shoe, but also the material is like, it's thin. But I would say the Jawone also, it's very good for support, right? So if you need a lot of support, right, probably stay away from like the KD Trace, stay away from the Speed 9 Premium and stuff like that, but the Jawone has really good support. So there's that. Next we actually have a lighter shoe than the Jawone, which is the Zoom Freak 4. The Zoom Freak 4 is a really solid performer as well. I wish the traction was a little bit better, but it's still solid. The cushion overall is also pretty damn nice. You have a lot of compression in the heel, and then the upper is really minimal, right? Especially in the forefoot, super duper thin material. It's a great fitting shoe for me as well. So when I put that shoe on, it feels really nice, right? So very lightweight shoe from the Zoom Freaks. All right, next we got the LeBrons, which is weird. We got a LeBron on a lightweight shoe list, which was last year with the LeBron 19. It was the heaviest shoe that I've ever weighed. So that's a very good improvement in my personal opinion. But yeah, the next gen is 11.6 ounces. It's a great performer. It performs very similarly to the LeBron 20. So of course the traction is great. The material is very minimal too. Not a whole lot of like padding in it. So the overall shoe feels very lightweight and minimal on foot, which feels great in my personal opinion. But also support is adequate. It has pretty damn good support. So there's that. And last but not least, we got the Serious Player Only Player 1. So if you want like a Kobe-esque shoe, a shoe that performs very similarly to like the Kobe 9, Kobe 8, Kobe 11, the Player 1 is an amazing option. I guess the only downside of the Player 1 is that it doesn't, or it's not as lightweight as, like the Kobe's. Kobe 8 was like 8 ounces. The Kobe 9 was like 10 ounces. Kobe 11 was around there as well, like 9-10 ounces. So super duper lightweight shoes for those. But anyway, the Player 1 comes in at around 11.5 to 11.9 ounces. And yeah, it's still pretty lightweight, but I thought it would be a little bit lighter than most of these shoes on this list, but it's actually not. It's a little bit heavier, but it's still a very minimal feeling shoe. You also feel very, very responsive. And also like the material is really, really thin. There's not a whole lot of padding in the upper as well. I feel like most of the weight is probably coming from like the rubber outsole and also the dropping midsole, right? But anyways, that about concludes this list. Again, this is my list for if you want a very lightweight, minimal feeling shoe that performs very, very well, then any of these shoes, you should be fine. Again, if you guys do want to cop any of these shoes, I try to leave them feeling in the description box, but that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.